Cool.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So if I just go to my
Away.
Here we go. Oh. Ooh.
Oh, right, hang on, it's not starting at the beginning. I should have done that, shouldn't I? So, hi everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. I want to talk about clothes, fashion and clothes. So my name's Jill. I'm from an organisation called Zero Waste Leeds, and this is what we're trying to do. Build a movement to help Leeds become a zero waste city by 2030, which is probably not actually doable, but you know, we can all play our part. And you'll all be familiar, I'm sure, with recycling stuff, you know, like you can put in your green bin, your cardboard and your paper and your plastic bottles. And what we need to get people to think about, as well as all of that regular recycling, is fashion and clothes. So we've got this project called Zero Waste Fashion, and we're trying to get people to think differently about the things that they wear and why they might want to do that.
Okay.
So if you think about the way that making clothes is a really polluting industry, you know, you think about when you think about things that have big carbon emissions, you think about cars on the road or aeroplanes in the sky, but actually the clothing industry, the fashion industry is more polluting than the airline and shipping industry put together. It causes a lot of pollution, all that carbon in the atmosphere. And this is like an example of the natural resources that are needed to make things like our jeans. So can you imagine 3,800 litres of water to make a pair of jeans? It's about 2,000 litres of water to make a t-shirt. And then a lot of our clothes have got something in it called polyester, and that's made with crude oil. And that's the same as the stuff that makes the petrol in our cars. So it's a really polluting industry. But there's loads of things that you can do that will, you can do your bit to make that impact less. So one of the things that probably makes you and whoever washes your clothes really happy is, one of the things you can do is wash your clothes less, which means they'll last longer. One of the other things you can do is wear your clothes more. So the clothes that you've got, wear them more, because loads of us, and I'm sure you'll be the same if you think about what's in your wardrobe, loads of them, loads of your clothes, you just don't wear anymore. You might have gone off it, or you've grown out of it, or you're just fed up of wearing it. And then a really big problem for our city is 4,000 tonnes of clothes ending up in the black bin every year, which is absolutely, they don't want to be in the black bin. There's loads of other things that you can do with the clothes that you don't want to wear anymore. And we will maybe have a bit of a chat about those kinds of things. So I don't know, could you swap clothes with your friends? My daughter's 15, she does that loads. Sometimes it's just borrowing things to go out in, but sometimes it's like a permanent swap. You could take them to a charity shop, or you could take them to a textile bank, and that's where they get an opportunity then to be turned into something else. So, you know, mattresses have, old clothes can be turned into stuffing for mattresses, and it can also be turned into, you know, in your car, the ceiling, it's a bit soft, it's turned into that, soundproofing. There's loads of things that we can do with our clothes instead of putting them in the bin. And so we've got a map, and it tells you all the different things that you can do instead of putting your clothes in the bin. You can go on our Zero Waste website and find that map. So this is just something that you're probably familiar with when you're thinking about, you know, we talk about reducing the number of plastic bottles that we use, for example. So just getting ourselves to think about our clothes and how we can be a bit more responsible with what we buy and what we wear. So that's me doing a little bit of an overview of what we do. And now I want to hear from you. What's your favourite item of clothing? I could go first if you want some. So mine's a scarf, quite a fancy scarf. And if I would have bought it from the shop, I couldn't have afforded it because it's a fortune. But this was donated to a charity shop, and I bought it from a charity shop. So that means it's second-hand, and my money's gone to a charity. It's a hospice that looks after poorly people. So that's my favourite piece of clothing? What about you? What about you, Jean?
My favourite piece of I've got to be hoodies. I love hoodies. So it don't matter what they are, how cheap they are, how expensive they are, I love hoodies.
And why? Because they're easy to wear, or you're warm, or what is it?
All of the above, easy to wear, keep me warm, and I just feel like it's a hug.
Yeah. Anybody else got a favourite? Olivia, have you got a favourite?
Mine are dungarees.
Your dungaree, and why do you like them so much?
I don't know. They are quite they're really comfy and they just look really nice to wear.
Have you had them a long time?
No, I got a pair for my birthday.
Oh, did you? Okay. And so this is another interesting question. Where did you buy them? Did you go to a shop or did you get them online?
I don't know. Someone bought them for me.
Oh, so they were a present. Anybody else? Anybody else's favourite? Thomas, what do you like to wear?
Same as jeans. I'm really a hoodie person.
Have you got a lot of hoodies?
Yeah, I've got about like 8, I'd say.
About 8 hoodies, blimey. And then what happens?
I do wear them a lot.
You do, well, that's really good. So wearing your clothes more is a good thing. So the more you use them, the more it's worth using up those natural resources that it took to make them. What about you? Anybody else got a favourite? Is it Oliver? All right, so that's interesting. So do you like that t-shirt and your Nike? By the way, solve a dispute, me and my daughter. Do you say Nike or Nike?
Nike.
Nike. So that's your Nike. I see Nike, you see, she doesn't like that. So why do you like them? Do you like your trainers and your t-shirt because you like what it says on them?
No, it's just because they're really comfy and
comfy. But
yeah,
do you like to buy a brand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else got a favourite, something that they just love to wear for whatever reason?
Jumpers.
You like a jumper. And where would you buy yours from? Is it Jake? Where would you buy your jumpers from?
Just a regular Shopify, like Sports Direct most of the time.
And do you buy it yourself, or do you choose your own things, or do your parents choose?
And I choose my own.
What about everybody else? Does everybody choose their own things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I choose my own things, but my parents.
But your parents, but yeah. So so would you trust your parents to buy you something on their own? Would you?
I feel like they know my style, so.
That's really good, because my daughter's 15. She would not say the same thing. I can't be trusted to buy anything now. And then, do you ever spend your pocket money buying your own things?
Yeah.
And is there anything that you've got your eye on now?
Yeah. Air Forces, Nike Air Forces. I'm looking to get them for Christmas.
So, do you are clothes on your Christmas list?
Not really.
Not really.
No.
Not bothered for clothes for Christmas.
Oh, I do.
And mainly, would you go to a shop mainly, or how do you decide what you're buying? Do you look online to get ideas?
I'm online.
I look online and then see where I can get it from, and then buy it from.
And have you got a favourite online shop?
Sports Direct.
Where would you look? Where would you look, Olivia, for your clothes?
Anywhere that sells clothes, to be honest.
Anywhere. You haven't got a favourite website that you're always looking at, thinking, "Oh, I wish I could have." Does it matter to you what other people are wearing? Do you like to wear the same things as other people, or have you got a friend who always looks fabulous and you want to look like that? Or
If some people want to match, then I tend to see if I've got anything to match. But if it's just if they want to match on it, or they want us to match.
Fine if
The same for boys. Do you like to look the same as your friends, or do you like to look different to your friends?
different.
I
Well,
prefer to look
we all wear,
different. Because we don't look all the same.
I'm
That's
not
good.
speaking like I'm not speaking for like all the boys, but all my friends which are boys. We all usually wear like tracksuits and that, so we end up like wearing the same thing.
Yeah. And what about, does it matter to you what like famous people or pop stars wear? Do you sometimes think I'd like to look like that?
No.
Yeah, sometimes. Is this Sharon in the middle, or is that
It's
Sharon?
called Lana.
Lana. All right, Lana. So what's your favourite thing that you like to wear? Have you got a favourite comfy dressing gown or a favourite hoodie? What about, how do you feel about your school uniforms? Do you like them?
No, I don't like it.
It used to be great because we could wear our own colours, but now we can only wear one.
Oh yeah, no. We have to wear like strict uniform. But now we have PE every day, so we actually get to wear our own clothes.
What is it that you don't like about your school uniform then? The colour?
You're talking about clothes, what? How good
Oh,
it
you
is
to wear a tie.
to the environment.
The shirts that are warm and they're not nice.
They're not very nice. Now, what colour? So, Olivia, what colours? Have you got a school jumper or a school blazer?
School. We can either have school jumpers or cardigans.
What colour is it?
Navy.
Navy. Okay. Lana, what colour's your school uniform? And
It's a bluey colour.
bluey colour.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of chat. So, do you ever, when you grow out of your favourite thing, your favourite hoodie or whatever, what happens to it then? Thomas, you've got a few hoodies. When you grow out of it, what happens to it then?
Well, I've not had a hoodie grow out because I've just recently got into hoodies.
Right.
So I've not grown out of one yet. But like, I have this kind of problem-y thing where if I really like a piece of clothing and then it gets too small, I just won't want to throw it away or like give it to a charity or something.
Yeah, giving it to a charity shop is a really great way of passing it on, because somebody else might really like that hoodie if it fits them.
Yeah,
that's a good idea to do that, isn't it? Or it'd be really cool if you took it, if it was, if it was full of holes and you just worn it to death and it had worn out. If it went to the textile bank and became a pair of car window wipers or stuffed into a mattress, that would also be cool. Better than throwing it in the bin, right? So if we're thinking about what might, there's all these different technology. I mean, when I am so old that when I was a girl, there was no such thing as the internet. So I couldn't buy things online. I couldn't spend ages looking to see what there was. I just had to go to a shop. So everything's changed, hasn't it? We don't all go to shops. What might we do in the future, do you think, when it comes to clothes? If we all realise how much of a polluting industry it is, and microplastics that end up in the sea, some of that is from like fleeces when we wash them, ends up in the rivers and the sea. So what do you think about how things might be in the future? Do you think we might take a bit more care of the clothes that we've got? Where do you think we'll be buying them?
Still online.
Still online. Do you think more people will shop online? Do you think more people are shopping online because of lockdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can't get out, like, to go to the shop.
And then when they open again, the shops, and there'll probably be a queue outside them all, would you go? Would you be bothered to go and queue?
No.
No,
If it's
I wouldn't be
something
bothered.
which I want to get, then I'd just queue any day.
And then, so where would you go if you were going shopping? Where would you go? Where do you go to, like the White Rose Centre, or would you go into town?
Do you know?
I just go for White Rose.
The White Rose.
I usually go to Trinity in town and I buy my clothes there in like Foot Locker and that.
Yeah. And do you think you spend a lot of money on clothes, or your parents spend a lot of money on clothes?
I buy my own stuff, so I
You
definitely
buy your
spend
own stuff, so you get some good pocket money then.
Really?
save up. Like it takes me like ages to save up.
And that, when you think about it though, that must mean then that if you've saved up for ages, what you then buy with that money is quite important to you, isn't it? Because you've had to save up for it, so it means something to you. Yeah. So Thomas is pulling it. So Thomas, your numerous hoodies, what's your favourite colour?
Favorite color? Well, I'm a fan of orange, but I don't have any orange hoodies. But I do have an orange jumper, which feels like a hoodie.
Yeah. And then, so how do you feel? Like my scarf is second hand. How would you feel about buying something from a charity shop? Would anybody do that?
I don't mind.
I would.
That's where I find the majority of my clothes, like in charity shops.
Come from a charity shop. So do you like going in and having a rummage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's
And
cheap
that, I mean,
and
it's cheap.
it looks nice
Yeah.
sometimes.
So you'd be happy with that. Were any of you involved in the school uniform exchange that you ran over the summer? You know, I think Jean told me that it was something that some of the children decided they wanted to do.
Oliver was there on the day. He spent all day there with us.
So yeah, but how amazing was that? So he collected in loads of school uniform and gave it away for free.
It was good. It felt good to like give it to people which need it.
Yeah, and it's so much better, isn't it, getting something for free than having to go to a shop and buy it. So that's a really good example of passing it on, isn't it? You know, you can pass your things on to somebody else. So have any of you got older brothers and sisters who maybe pass their things down to you?
No, but I have
Sam.
Sorry, go on,
cousins
Oliver.
which give me their stuff.
Yeah.
I have
What about
cousins
you,
which
Olivia?
give me their stuff.
I pass my things on. I've got a younger sister, so I pass mine on.
And does she mind having to wear your things?
No, but she's only really young, so if like I pass things, I don't pass all my stuff on. Some things I send to charity shops. The things I do pass on, she won't be able to wear because they'd be too big.
They'd be too big. So how old do you think you are when you start choosing your own clothes? I mean, you know, like, because your mum and dad used to just buy all your stuff. How old do you think you are when you start wanting to choose?
Around 3 years old. Around 3 years old, I was very dominant with my
Were you at 3?
like what I wanted to wear.
Yeah.
Right.
What about you, Thomas? How old were you when you would say, I really don't like that, or this is what I really like?
Well, it's kind of when well, it's kind of from where Sam ended up giving his clothes to me, because my brother, he's really into sporty things like football, so most of his clothes are like football-y things, sporty things, and I'm just not really like that, so I don't really like any of the clothes that he's giving down to me, so that's kind of making me want to get new clothes, because I don't like the clothes that I'm getting.
handed down from him. And then what about that stat that said that 30%, that's like a third of the clothes in people's wardrobes they never wear? Have you got things in your wardrobe that you never wear? Gina, Wendy, and Lindsay's going.
Wait, I'm just going to try find something that I don't wear.
Go on then.
I think it
I'll
won't
find
take
some-
long.
And then maybe we have to think about what you could do with that, because if you're not wearing it, somebody else could wear it. I mean, some of the things in your wardrobe you might not be wearing because they're a bit big for you yet, but we need to think about.
I don't wear this one. It's my.
Why don't you wear it, Oliver?
Just uncomfortable, and I don't really like it. But my cousin gave it to me, so like he bought me it for my birthday. So feels like I don't really wear it. 'Cause it fits me and I wear it, but I don't really like it.
You're not so bothered for it. So what might you do with it then? When you've had enough, what might you do with it?
Might give it to my brother because he likes football and he's supporting United, so you know.
Yeah, brilliant. So it's carrying on. So it's gonna be a t-shirt for somebody else, for your brother. What about you, Thomas? Did you find one?
Yeah, it's this Barcelona jacket. One, it's football. Two, it's another team except for Leeds, which my brother and dad don't probably want me to wear. Also, it's uncomfy and it's got this kind of material on the insides that you get with like coats that don't have much protection on you.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that feeling.
Right. So what are you going to do about it? It's no good being in a drawer or the back of your wardrobe. What are you going to do about it?
I'll give it to charity maybe.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Have you got anything, Olivia, that's in your wardrobe that you don't wear?
If like I don't wear them, they're either too big for me or they're too small for me, and I've still got them in my wardrobe.
What about, would you ever consider swapping with your friends?
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. No, I don't think I would.
There's this really amazing thing in Leeds called the Community Clothes Exchange, and what you do is you take 10 items, up to 10 items of clothes. So you go along, a bit like when you did the school uniform exchange. So you go along with your 10 things, and you hand your 10 things in, and they give you a token, and that means you can then go through all the other 10 things that everybody else has brought, and you can take 10 things home. So it's like you take the things that you don't want anymore, but then you get to bring some back. Does that sound like a good idea?
That sounds good.
Yeah. And school uniforms and it's kind of it's unique really, because a lot of your school uniform you just grow out of, but there's nothing wrong with it. So do you all go to the same school?
No.
And do your schools do a uniform swap like Jean organised over the holidays? Do your schools do a swap?
Mine don't.
Sometimes they do. Not all the time, but sometimes.
The closest we probably get to that is like where we look at lost property to see if it's ours.
That's the thing, you see, but lost property is really interesting. So one of the things why we started doing the school uniform stuff is because Rob, who I work with, he was picking his son up from the school, and he at the same time as the caretaker was just throwing away into a skip all of the lost property, which was just like heartbreaking, all of these amazing clothes going in the skip. So he rescued them, washed them and passed them on. But do you think we could all be a bit more careful with our clothes? What could we do so there's not so much stuff in lost property?
Put your names on your stuff.
Put your name on your stuff.
If whoever finds it, they can bring it back to you.
Yeah. Have you ever lost anything, Oliver?
Once I lost my jacket, which I paid 75 quid for, and then I lost it.
Where did you lose it? You didn't get it
So
back.
and I was playing football, and then I took my jacket off because we were using them as GoPro, and then when we went into class, I forgot to get it, and then just went. I could find it.
Oh no. So you must have been really upset if you'd spent all that money on it.
Like,
And
when
it's
at first I bought my own money too.
such a shame that someone didn't hand it in as well. That's mean. Did it have your name on?
No, so I bought it the night before, and then I wore it to school to like show my friends, and then
Oh no, so you'd only just got it as well. What about you, Thomas? Have you ever lost anything at school?
It's either been a hat that I've lost or my pumps.
Yeah, pumps are easy to lose, aren't they? And what about going into lost property? Because I know if my daughter forgets a PE kit, they send them to lost property to go and see what they can find. Do you sometimes have to do that?
yeah, once I forgot my short, and then I had to go. You had to use this pair which are real small one, and it wasn't nice.
Yeah. Oh, well, this has been such an interesting conversation. Have you got other things you want to chat about?
No, because we've had our Zoom last night and we've got another one tomorrow, so this was a special one.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I saw some of you who did the yoga challenge. Anybody do the yoga challenge?
Olivia and
Hello.
Thomas.
Yeah, that was really good, the yoga challenge. So I wonder if we can think of a clothes challenge. What could we do? So if we understand that there's a big problem because the fashion industry creates all this pollution, what do you, if all of us said we would do one good thing, what might that be? I'm gonna ask Jean to think of the thing that she's gonna do that's gonna make a difference, and then if we all do something that's gonna make a difference, that's a good thing. That's us doing something together. So what would you do, Jean?
I think we should pledge to not actually waste clothes and spend a fortune on some things that we don't actually need. I do that. I do like shopping for clothes. It makes me feel good. I do wear them all. But yeah, I think we need to all pledge that we're going to do one thing different for it.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. One thing that we don't have to all do the same thing, but we'd all say, right, this is the thing. Because my thing is, I'm not going to buy anything new. I'm going to, if I want something, it's got to be second hand. So my top second hand, because this is one that my daughter got fed up of wearing. So I've got that now. My scarf second hand because I bought it from a charity shop. So that's my pledge, is I'm not buying anything new. So that's good for the environment, and also I save money, and if I buy it from a charity shop, it means I'm making a donation as well. So Thomas, go on then. What would you do?
So I think what I'm gonna do is every time that I buy something new, I'm gonna donate another piece of clothing that I already have to charity.
That's a really good thing. So that's like one in, one out, isn't it? So I've got something new and I'm going to give something else away. That's a really good thing. What about you, Wendy?
Wendy, you're muted.
Yeah, you muted, Wendy.
There we go. It wouldn't unmute. Right. What would I like Thomas's idea of buying new and giving something to charity. That would potentially stop me buying something new that I don't need. Jean's right. I think we do tend to buy things we don't really need. It's more of a want than a need. I think it wouldn't harm all of us to look at that.
Like, it makes us feel good, you know, and you know, there's a lot of reasons to be miserable at the moment. So if you can cheer yourself up.
Yeah.
What about you, Olivia? What might you do? What's your pledge or your challenge?
Wear my clothes more often, and if I don't wear my clothes, donate them to charity, the ones that I don't wear anymore.
Have you got some good charity shops near you?
Put them in the
water.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a charity shop.
Yeah, brilliant. So
Quite a
you're
few.
gonna. So we've got buy a bit less, pass them on, donate them to charity. What about you, Oliver?
I'm not sure.
Well, you're quite good, aren't you? Because you get clothes that are passed on from your cousin, which is a good thing, and you also pass things on, don't you? What about Lindsay?
Maybe have a clear out of clothes I'm not wearing.
Yeah, so that's something that lots of people did over lockdown. You know, when you had a bit of a clear out, and then the charity shops, when all the charity shops reopened, they were absolutely overwhelmed with donations. So, but my garage is full, can't tell you, because everybody knows I collect for charity, so it's full to bursting, including school uniform. So I need the charity shops to reopen so I can take all my stuff. Who have we done? What about Lana? Does your sister pass things on to you, or you're passing things on? To you. Yeah, that's lovely. Well, that's really good. Sharing is good. Thomas?
Where?
You're just waving.
Maybe, Jean, we could do something like that, an item exchange. Maybe not 10 items. But that's a lot. But if they all brought so many items that they didn't want to wear to Tribe, and then we could do a bit of a swap at Tribe and see.
A swap shop.
A swap shop, yeah.
A multicolour swap shop.
Our own swap shop.
Yeah, well, it's brilliant, and I think it does get you thinking about things in a different way as well, doesn't it? You know, like if you're looking at a piece of clothing and thinking, oh, am I going to wear it again, or shall I let it go? It does make you think about how you feel about that piece of clothing. And also, giving things away to charity is also something that makes you feel good, isn't it? Or giving it to somebody else makes you feel good. Not just buying it. So that would be brilliant if you did a swap shop and everybody brought something and everybody could take something away. That would be amazing. I mean, in my day, you might remember this, Noel Edmonds swap shop. It was like games and all sorts, wasn't it? Used to swap stuff like that. So, yeah, same principle. Yeah. I'm loving your tree, by the way, Wendy. That's the first Christmas tree up.
Oh, is it?
It is. Yeah, it's lovely.
I've put
just
mine
had
up.
to get a bit of cheer in the house, I think.
I put mine up the other day.
Did you? Yours up as well, Oliver? Ours is I'm a bit of a Grinch. I like mine up about the week before Christmas, but even I might go early because I think we all need a bit of cheering up this year. Oh, that's fantastic. It looks great. And we've got Thomas with his reindeer antlers on as well.
Thomas is off with his reindeers again.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. So if I say there that maybe some of the kids might fill in for me, would that be all right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much. Keep in touch, and if you do a swap shop, let me know. And if you want to do some more uniform exchanging, let me know as well.
No problem. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.